Kia ora, namaste, and a very warm welcome back for the last time to all our viewers tuning in from around New Zealand and beyond. You're watching live coverage of the 2025 New Zealand Indian Hockey Championship, proudly hosted this year by the Waikato Indian Sports Club in conjunction with New Zealand Indian Sports Association, bringing together community, competition and culture. This tournament has grown into one of the premier events on the New Zealand Indian community sporting calendar, showcasing not only some of the best hockey talents in the country, but also a legacy that stretches back generations. And of course, today is the final day of the tournament, and this is the final game of the tournament where these two teams will battle it out, contesting the coveted Diane Chan Trophy. I'm joined in commentary by Hitendra Patel, NZISA lead coach. Welcome back, Hitu.
Yeah, thanks, Brad. And yeah, what a matchup we've got in the final game of today. Like you said, Wellington v Pukekohe, in what is a repeat of last year's final.
Yeah, and it's a mouth-watering one. I think if you were to put money on it before the tournament started, these are probably two of the teams you might have put down on your betting slip to be here, and it is Puke taking on Wellington. You said repeat of last year's final. It's also the last two Diane Chan holders. Wellington, the defending champs, winning their one up in North Harbour, while Puke, they went and did it in Wellington's backyard just 2 years ago. So everything to play for these two teams, and no surprise that we're expecting absolute fireworks as we see the teams come together there. Of course, Puke in their traditional green and yellow, and Wellington in the white and light blue. So big names, big games. Who's going to step up and stamp their mark on this one? And look at the sights. It's been a beautiful day here in the Waikato and a beautiful weekend here for the 2025 tournament outcome. The teams there, and as we see them come out, just a couple of players, of course, to take a look at for Pukekohe. Hard to go past the masked man in Nitish Suka. He's absolute dynamite, especially on the penalty corner bracket. His ability to throw the overhead and just his composure at the back, solidifying the Puke defense, has been solid. Jared Panchia through the middle of the field, of course, one of the most recognised names in the tournament and across New Zealand hockey for a number of years. His work in the midfield has been electric. And it's Ishan Patel, who up the front had an absolute ripper of a game we saw yesterday. Hitu in the passing lanes, turning over pills, scoring goals. He was exciting.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, we've started to see some maturity come along in his game, and it's good to see that growth, as you talked about yesterday. Absolutely. And then looking across at the Wellington Indian sides, you know, they've got flair and firepower as well. None more than up the front, Sarge Patel. He's a tall customer, rangy skills, loves a sniff at a goal, and has a ton of 3D speed, explosion and scoring ability. He's backed up by the likes of DVD Bicker, the captain, Kalen Dahl, who's been fantastic, and also Shea Lala at the back, who, again, an anchor for this Wellington team, showing his experience. Yeah, and again, you know, there's so many other names we probably could name out there today. Like lots of talent between both teams. So, yeah, we're in for a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see those final chairs there between our two sides: Puke, Wellington, and Pukekohe. Of course, I mentioned the 2024 champions in Wellington. They're unbeaten this weekend. They're the winners of Pool B and have come through with 3 wins from their 3 games. Wellington, the defending champs and winners of Pool A. They've had to do it the tough way after losing a shootout, surprisingly, to Christchurch on the very first morning of tournament, and have got there through a couple of wins following that in what was coined the Pool of Death, Pool A this year, and they've made it back to the big dance as the two teams are out there on the pitch. I will make mention as well, Hitu, excellent crowd have stuck around for this year's men's final. The bleachers over the other side look pretty full. Fence line out in front of us. How good.
Yeah, and we're off. Wellington with the hit off, and straight back to Shea with the overhead threat that we've seen all weekend.
Yeah, and Sarge here, these are the areas he's so influential, though. Jared Panchia cleaning up that one. you know, if those two find themselves in similar areas of the field, could be a bit of excitement for those watching along, Sarge and Pup.
Yeah, I think we're going to have some really good 1v1 battles out there across the park, actually. As we mentioned, you know, lots of talent out there, so pair anyone up and it's going to be a great battle.
Yeah, absolutely, and you made mention so many names. You could list the whole team when we're looking at highlights. One we just saw there on a nice little turn of it, Brett Menezes there for Puke in the white long sleeves, and yeah, now come Wellington through Sarge. And our little sideline one coming for Wellington. And this high press is actually something we saw yesterday from Pukekohe. They really like to split the field in half, push the middle up and try and eliminate the midfield transfer. And there they've won one through Nidish Suka. So really have a look for that centre striker's positioning. That time it was Devon Parsot, the captain. Just they really do aggressively try and pick the middle of the field. It's where Ish got a fair bit of his success yesterday.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's something that they go after really early on. You know, while they got fresh legs, have a crack, make something happen, as we talked about, as Sarge just... oh, yeah, no, not his ball.
It's actually going to go the way of Puke, yeah.
Great first initial steal, and then just didn't quite get it on.
And there's the overhead ability of Nidish Suka, and it's going to go the way of Puke there. Divin was already standing and waiting for it. And it's a cool 60 metres on the fly. And Menezes will just try and find the right spot.
And that's what I think we can expect here, end-to-end hockey with both teams with good overhead threats.
Yeah, I know those that were up in North Harbour, especially those dressed in the green, will have a pretty sour taste in their mouth after going down in a heavy one to Wellington in last year's final. They got absolutely outclassed. So, yeah, they'll want to make amends for that one today. I know some pretty proud Puke families made the trip down the highway this weekend to be part of it again.
Yeah, exactly, and great location to you know, be holding this King's Birthday tournament. And like you said, the crowd are out today and just provides for such a great atmosphere for the finale.
Yeah, absolutely. And special shout out to Waikato Hockey Association, who've been our hosts alongside St. Paul's College this weekend. Such a cool venue, easy to get into. You know, really good facility here. They've just relayed the second turf and everything looking smart for this year's tournament, as we see that 3D skill along the baseline in its first penalty corner. Our man doing the damage. How good is that? There from young Rainish Patel.
The brother.
Yeah, they're showing that. How
Brother
good.
of Ishan there.
Yep.
Yeah, Rainish, another, you know, great little young player who's coming along really well.
And I think there's no money on the table for guessing what this option likely going to be. Jared's set up on the second bracket, and despite his number of games for the men's Black Sticks team, I dare say it's probably not going to him.
So all in on this one?
You know, we're all in here on Nidish Suka. Really well run by Sarge and wears it on the legs. It's a great line.
That's the key. Just probably needs to get his stick down a little bit to pretend it did hit his stick potentially.
Yeah.
But
yeah, pretty obvious one there.
Pretty big foot there.
I'd say we'll probably have another look at it here. Nidish. That time he does get it past, but nice glove save from the goalkeeper there. Not sure how much I love the big swinging stick, but he's confident in it. So well saved, and now Pup v DVD on the corner. They roll it back out and around.
Yeah, it's a great save from Jasdeep Singh there in goal for Wellington.
Here's the turnover that Wellington hunt on. Here's the reach of Sarge on the reverse. So wears it on the shoulder like a champ. To just, yeah, got it a little bit wrong there, Sarge, and he'll go for a quick sub. Love the tough work there from Nathan Soma. Pretty unfazed, and looks like they're going to... I thought there was a little bit of conversation between the umpires there, but I think maybe just dropped something on the turf, a mouth guard perhaps. They've just taken and dropped on the side of the field. That one's obviously not in the mouth. And now, oh, lovely receive from Brett Menezes and the ball across.
Oh, another great ball there.
Yeah, Puke, I said they looked good yesterday. They've started to create a couple of opportunities already here.
Yeah, they've just grown into that aerial again in this game early on, which, you know, hopefully Wellington will start picking that up if they want to make sure they get out of the woodworks at the moment, because right now they haven't defended that too well.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, it's not something that's a surprise, right? That should have been in the scout book coming into today's match. It's not like Nedish has never thrown those cross fields either to those 25-yard lines where they just found Brett, or even those ones to the baseline T-bars, which he likes as well. So you'd like to think they're better organised for that, and perhaps just not quite hitting those targets at the moment. That one's cut out well there.
Shea Lala again showing all his experience.
I'm just going to make a special mention, the Puke boys there wearing the black armbands for today's final. And in memory of one of the long-time Puke Indians members, Balu Naran, who passed away a couple of days ago. So, respect and out to that family there in the Puke Indians community, and shown by the boys out on the turf this afternoon. Yes, now we see Wellington enjoying a little bit of opportunity here up the back, but yeah, untidy. And now Milan Patel, one we haven't mentioned yet, an absolute dynamite as well. Comes forward here, Mills. He's got skill, speed, and he's got a free hit there on his opposite number.
Yeah, very smart there from Mills. Good left to right in the middle of the field, and then just earns a penalty in that attacking 25 there. Quite like Pukekohe as they go on their attack. They're mixing it up between, you know, dropping it back out, get some more numbers to really put pressure on this Wellington defence at the moment. Yeah,
really just shifting their point of attack, trying to move the free man of Wellington, and just exposing those wider channels, and easy to do so when you've got Brett on one side and Mills on the other. You know, certainly got the skill set there to exploit it. There's the little bounce ball again. Panchia picks it up. We actually mentioned him in yesterday's game, but his brother Aaron has been here over the weekend. Saw Aaron watching one of the games yesterday. Long-time Black Sticks player and captain. And
free hit.
Yeah, big opportunity across the goal. It's in the back of the net. Divin Parsot. He scored a ripper yesterday. Man, he's making his own highlight reel at the moment. The captain for Puke this weekend, and earned rest. We'll see it. It's the quick shot you mentioned. Free hit taken. Good first up save, and that one in the roof. Doesn't look as spectacular from the top angle as it does from us nearer the ground, but what a strike there from Divin Parsot.
Yeah, he finds himself in such good positions, but again, you know, that bouncy ball is not always easy to one-time it into the goal, and he's executed really well. Yeah,
that's to perfection. I think you could get it any sweeter than that. Divin Parsot there, what a goal, 1-0, the way of Puke.
And end-to-end again, Wellington straight back up the other side.
Yep. Puke will certainly want to play spoilers to the double defending champs. Obviously, the Harbour women got it done in their game, going back-to-back. Puke here trying to make sure Wellington don't do the same. And away come Puke up this right side of the field. And again, under real pressure, Wellington. Love this. Here's Ishan, he's won it in the middle of the field. Wears off a pretty ordinary challenge, and I don't know if they can argue too much with that one. They're going to appeal for a stick shield, but I think the defender's stick was caught up in Ish's legs more than anything, and it's come from the high press again. Hitu, Puke look up for it.
Yeah, they're very hungry, as we see it on the replay here.
Yeah, he is appealing for a stick shield, and I understand the frustration a little bit there, but the ref there had his eyes on it the whole way, and penalty corner coming here for Puke. Nedish setting up again on that first bracket. Oh, and that's got to have gone pretty close to stroke material. They're going to say it was going out across the goal, so we'll get a reset on the penalty corner. We'll see this replay here. Yeah, love the work there. Flick it hard, I reckon. Straight out to Neats. And here it is.
Save.
Yeah, great save. A little slight angle change, whether it was on purpose or not, the trap just shifting to the middle of the bracket that time, and he's ripped one down that attacking left part of the goal, and well saved there again. Jasdeep Singh in goal for Wellington.
Yeah, I think with the way Sarge runs a really good line, they have to kind of shift it, and I think that was the manoeuvre.
Yeah.
But equal to the task was the goalkeeper there.
Yeah, and we already mentioned it in the first couple of corners. Sarge runs such a good line out there. There's not many people that will run that real barrel line that Sarge is on. As free hit will go there to Puki after a little aerial. Yes, it's a tough line to run, you know, to convince players to run just your body down the line at it. And if it hits your legs, it's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then straight back, Wellington come, but that defence we spoke about yesterday, Pukekohe just holding quite strong with their defensive organisation again to start this game. Yeah,
they looked really strong around the back. You know, we can look to all their goals they've scored and all the excitement going forward, but they haven't conceded many, if any, either. So, you know, really solid organisation from Puki, and now Wellington coming forward. And I was having a conversation with a few people about, you know, who's better set up for this game. Obviously, Wellington, the defending champs, and how was that not gone in the goal? I was just about to start bigging up the Wellington attack there for an equaliser, and that one, Bavi somehow figured out a way to get back in front of some of it. We'll see it on the replay here. Love the overhead from Shea, touch from Sarge. Oh, and he's just hooked it, DVD.
Yeah, he'll be gutted about that one.
Yeah. Yeah, as I was saying, you know, who's better prepped for it? Wellington have had the tougher games and had to really muscle through from adversity, and Puki, well, they've flexed their way through most of it, and you always argue who's battle hardened, but also who's had to put more mileage on the legs. So lots of different dynamics out here in this one.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the key difference, although, you know, some would say Puki might have had an easier run, they're actually playing some really good hockey, and we spoke about it, you know, not only were they attacking really well, but defensively they were strong.
Yeah.
And so I think, you know, going in with momentum, although they haven't potentially had the harder games, they've still been performing and executed at both ends of the field.
Yeah, and there's a lot to take out of confidence, right? Even when the legs start dying and those little touches go against you, having confidence that you've played well, you know where the goal is, and
here's one.
Here we go. Oof.
Good touch there by Kelly coming across there.
Yeah, had to as well, because Ish was relatively unmarked. And now Nidish will look for his options forward. Roll one up to the corner. One cut out by Hamish Suka, of course, brother of Jaina Suka. So I'm sure she and the other Puki crew have hung around. Jaina, though, maybe mixed alliances with who to cheer for on this one. As, although I reckon I'd cheer for the one who's winning. As Puki come forward here up the right touch line, and they'll earn a long corner there, Mills. Cool to see a bit of the instructions coming there from Will Zoo. Sarge, one of his marquee men. And again, got to make mention, I think we did on the first day, a lot of these guys actually play in that Wellington Indian Sports team together in their local club competition in Intercity League. Will actually plays in the team as their goalkeeper on the Saturday, so out here coaching with them this weekend. Obviously not eligible to play. And cool to see some of these guys obviously get their regular games together and then out here showing it at tournament.
Yeah, and with Will, you know, being in goal obviously during the season and then taking over as coach when he's not eligible is also pretty cool to see, you know, the club just holding together and all coming together, you know, which is awesome for the tournament.
Yeah, and we've seen it a lot, you know, and I've mentioned it a couple of times But again, the guys like Blair Tarrant and Steve Jennis there jumping in with Auckland as well, part of that coaching staff there. So cool to have those guys involved. James Coughlin out here with Puki. He doesn't get much better than that. Sanjay Ganda with the Christchurch lads. These are guys that have got a lot of playing and coaching experience right to the very top level across the different regions and across New Zealand. So to have them back out here with the ISCs is epic.
We're going to hopefully listen into.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get.
Still plenty of time to play, still plenty of hockey here. We have created opportunities in that first quarter. Yeah, we just need to make sure we treasure the ball a little bit longer in there. Yeah, every time we turn over the ball, we're losing it after 1 or 2 phases. Yeah, we need to hold on to it a little bit longer, and then we can build. After that, I also want us to just try and find that help side. Yeah, we're holding on to it for a little too long, and we're not getting it to the help side with the spaces. Yeah, and at the moment, those other guys are just working harder to get back into that line. Yeah, so we have to pick up our game.
Yeah, really cool insight from there. One thing I really noticed from Will Zoo there, trying to find the other side of the field. We mentioned the style of press that Puki liked to play, splitting the field like that and being really aggressive in that midfield transfer lane. So really trying to identify if they can get the transfer and break that press, they're all on Wellington. As we see some of these first quarter highlights, it was all Puki here. We saw penalty corners, we saw shots, and we saw this one in the roof from Divin Parsot. See it from the other angle. Good save. Nice little touch across from Tal, and in it goes from the captain. Just having a look at, again, that's that running line from Sarge. You can see him right in front. They get one going across the goal. And then this late opportunity. Oh, DVD. It could have been captain's lunch, both sides there for these two teams here. He'll probably not enjoy watching that one back, DVD. He'd usually back himself to cover drive that one straight through the net there.
Yeah, I think his eyes lit up a bit too much in that one. Sometimes you just, trap it, put it in the net,
yeah.
The open goal. Will's hit a nail on the head there, right? Like most of those replays are all about Pukekohe. It's not that Wellington weren't attacking, they're just missing that last 2 or 3, and I think he's bang on. Hold a bit more position, maybe we can create a bit better.
Yep, and here we go. Sarge looking to do just that. Oh, love this. DVD again. Right. His eyes will be bigger than dinner plates soon if you keep giving them that. And Sarge looking for the corner. They're going to call the obstruction for the double roll there on Sarge. Not 100% sure on that one. Just got a little tangled up in it, perhaps body obstruction. But again, DVD, I tell you what, he's in the thick of things at the moment.
Maybe he's had a bit too much energy drinks or something to start the game, but his eyes are lighting up every time he sees that ball in the circle.
Yeah, he's reminiscent of last night's disco, actually. He's on tilt at the moment. And here come Wellington around the back through Shaylala. Bit of a stretch there, and great take.
It's done real well, I'll tell you that. But much better from Wellington, just holding that little bit more possession, as Will talked about. And they created, a pretty early opportunity just then. Yeah,
and this is the time, we can't quite see it on the field here, but if they can break across this midline, there's a bit of space out here for Hamish Suka. Even DVDs start to identify it now. That's the areas they want to try and pick. As we get one bounce up on the body, it's a little bit fortunate for Wellington, but you make your own luck here, and a big one for the defending champs to peg one back early in the second quarter.
Yeah, again, the aerial threat here, as we see it on the replay. Anything can happen. It gets the defenders or the defensive team, having to really pull on their technical skill execution. Yeah, especially if you're playing on a turf that, you don't play a lot of hockey on. They got different bounces. There's different, spring on turf. So, perhaps just got a little bit big on them there defensively. And now we'll get first look at it here for Wellington. And potentially Alex up on the bracket there. There he is. Semenko Bucknell rips one. It's taken a touch on its way through. Looks like from a defender, so up to it there, Puki. He got it away pretty rapid too. So it could be one to look out for here. We've seen him score those before, Alex. And now Hamish Suka rolls down this left side of the field. Again, we see that overhead going down to Hiranmani. Well, he's going to have to get on a step ladder quickly. Oh, he's done well there. Gets it. Oh, love this. Just not a third.
Just would have loved to see a little third popping out in front. I think Hiranmani had 2 feet off the air to find that one.
He's looking for the step ladder, but he's managed to...
Yeah, might have taken a spring jump off the back fence. And the overhead going down there towards
tactical
Ish.
sub there, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, the aerial threats proving dividends for both teams at the moment, which is really cool to see. You know, that's where the game is growing, especially in men's hockey, and it's, yeah, proving dividends.
And I think the best part of it, especially from these two teams, is they're really intentional with it, rather than just flicking out big bombs to, you know, flex the muscles, really putting it in spots, getting into good areas and targeting either players in space or areas they can exploit. So, yeah, look to see a little bit more of that from both these sides. As Ish just bounces one back out again.
Yeah, and I think the other thing it does is it allows the game to be stretched as well. Like a lot of times off screen, you know, we can't really see it on screen, but strikers get height because they know that threat's coming, and then it's just more space to play in.
Yeah, especially for some of the skilled midfielders, ball players we've got around both these teams here. You see Mills onto the ball now. Searching. Oh, lovely pass. Coming forward here. Puki, good cutout from Shailala. And now he's riding the pony on the way out there. The 2 number 4s. It's a awkward game of charades, that. And now, opportunity for Puki. It's going to fall Wellington's way.
Yeah, great tackle there by Shea, and I think he's going to be called on a few more times in this game.
Yeah, we saw him have a standout campaign for NZI at the recent Heritage Tournament at the back there. It's been fantastic again for Wellington this week. So really look to him stand up at the back for the defending champs. We're going to have a first little firm whistle card coming.
First card of the game.
Off we'll go there. It's Rudra, one of the young under 18 boys back from Whangarei today. Take his spot in the final. Rudra will sit down for 2. And nothing on the end of that one there. The touch pass from Brett Menezes through the circle. Here's another one of those nicely positioned overheads. Josh Turasingham there brings that one down.
Yeah, both teams finding them really well at the moment, which is great to see, as you said. Very intentional, very good execution at the moment from both sides.
And Puki having to do it tough at the moment. One less set of legs on the field for a couple of minutes. And Hamish Shuka, yeah, it's going to fall that time. Akshay Lala. And they go back. Shay Lala here looking for a way through. Good turnover there. Christian Patel. Mills is trying to get ahead. And Shay, that's that's the experience. Cut it out, let them reset, get some players back. And now Suka will look for that crossfield overhead. Just a little wayward there for Ish, but you could see the space. Still looking for a way through here. Puki up 1-0 midway through the second quarter. It was the first quarter goal to the captain, Divin Parsot. That separates the teams here in the men's A section final.
Yeah, look at those numbers there, though. That was like a 5v3 on defence. It's like they're just pouring numbers ball side. Very difficult to get out of. So I think Puki need to find a way to get to the transfer side or the help side where the space is, because Wellington are shutting it down very quickly.
Here's another turnover, and away come Puki. They're one man down, but that's stunning work there. One arm reaching on the reverse, spot tackle.
That man again, Shay Lala.
Oh, and how?
Oh, how good was that piece of skill?
Josh Turasingham. Oh! Nah, they've got it right there. Without even having to see the replay, I'm 99 3/4% sure Josh Turasingham was about a ball width outside the circle. Really heads up reffing there from Ryan McLaughlin. It's beaten Bhavish Bana into the net, and we're pretty sure we'll see a replay of it once play slows down. But I'm
That would have been a great finish.
Would have been a huge, huge answer back for Wellington. As we see Ish there trying to put the washing machine on spin cycle and gets picked there. And we'll work our way out here. Wellington, we might have to wait for the halftime break to look at it, but I'm almost willing to bet me house that Ryan McLaughlin's nailed that one there. Just outside the circle. Josh Thrice, he was begging it to roll over the line. He'd taken a bit of a touch before it got there, and like you say, would have been a phenomenal finish and perhaps a real momentum turner had they got it.
Yep, but they're going to have to keep searching.
Yep. Love the enterprise, though, from Wellington. They know they're only a sniff away from locking this one back up. Sarge receives one. Nidish looking to defend. And now Sarge drops it back out. Marnie.
And just great scramble defense from Pukekohe there.
Yeah, it found the defender off his feet there and actually made things difficult for her and Marnie to keep control, and probably a little lucky not to give away anything more than that. But well defended, and now free hit will go the way of Wellington just outside the 25-yard line. Sarge again goes backwards to get it going forward. Looking to move this Pukie screen side to side. They're back to 11 players now. And that's what you want out of your slide, is just to put some unforced pressure on the back group and see if you can win a free one.
Yeah, what I liked about that was not only were they sliding, but ever so slightly they were creeping up forward and forward. And that's always very difficult for a defence because it's not just a slide, they're coming at you.
Yeah, especially while they were sitting in that primary back three. You know, you're pretty isolated at the back there when you're the sole centre. And when they start just to creep up that little bit of space, you're now under a bit more pressure than you thought. And good win. This one in the way of Wellington. DVD, the captain, he'll just consolidate the possession again. This real aggressive centre press from Pukie forced Wellington to dribble the ball all the way over to this help side, rather than being able to hit it. And a half touch, whoa, beat everybody.
Oh.
Barvish, he's keeping his kickers warm. There's Nidish, tries to work his way out. Free hit to Wellington, they've got it going quickly. It's in the circle here with Sarge, upright reverse. Oh. I tell you what, Wellington have gone 3 times close to scoring the goal of the tournament, and somehow Pukie holding on. Sarge, upright reverse. Again, we've talked about that skill here too. How special is it?
Yeah, how good. I mean, I reckon one of the hardest skills to pull off. Yep. It's always on the move, could be bouncy, and just to get that sort of connection. We got a bit too much that time, but how good just to get that shot off.
You love to see it too. You know, Sarge, a pretty tall customer. It's probably easier for him to perfect that skill than get right down on the regular reverse. He's become pretty good at it. There's DVD, looks to throw one over. Turns a little scrappy there from Pukekohe.
Just searching now, found it.
And there's the captain, the goal scorer, Divin Parsot. There's enough there to win the sideline hit. And you can see the troops ready to come on for Wellington. Just under 3 minutes left here in the second quarter. Our men's A section final between Pukekohe and Wellington. Pukie up 1-0. First quarter goal to Divin Parsot. Have a look at that. You can see the crowd around the turf. What an epic sight here at the Gallagher Hockey Centre, Waikato Hockey Association. And NZIHC 2025. Her and Marnie brings that one down. And a bit big on the transfer.
Yeah, couldn't quite link up there, but again, just a good use of aerial with Heron leading back there. As we see Milan Patel on the left-hand side attack. Well cleaned up there by Wellington again, though.
Yeah, and always a tough one, attacking-wise, on the reverse stick down there. Defenders on their favoured forehand, where you can keep it there. And well cleaned up by Wellington. Now, we just noticed as he's in the mixer there, haven't seen much of Jared Panchia in this second quarter, as we see the best Seedle Patel impersonation there, running without the stick.
Yeah, she's put on a bit of a trend this tournament, I think.
Tell you what, you might see it on TikTok. Now Wellington, can they find a way through in these final 90 seconds? It would be huge for them if they can score one before the break. And Pukekohe trying to hold on. They'd love an advantage at the halftime Oranges. And there's that transfer that Will Zhu had been asking for, but covered up enough by Pukekohe that time.
Happy just to pass the ball around here, Wellington.
Yeah, I think they know if they can get the right movement and pull Pukekohe out of the shape, they might have an opportunity to go forward. That's not the way for Kaylin Dahl and now Ishan Patel.
Probably the wrong person to run into in the Wellington defence there when you get a breakaway like that. But,
he's done it again. First time on the reverse, that time flat stick on the forehand. There's nothing he can't do. Shea Lala, he's been unreal. And Pukekohe, now they'll send their shooter. And 25 seconds left here in this one. Great touch from Patel, and beats another one. And it's still going here for Pukekohe. There's the 3D cut out by Shea Lala. I'll tell you what, if I'm James Coughlin at the halftime break, I'm photocopying a photo of Shea Lala, putting it on the whiteboard with a big X across it, and pretty much just telling the boys go anywhere else.
Yeah, he is picking up everything that's coming through that zone. And yeah, if Pukekohe want another point on the scoreboard, they're definitely going to have to keep it away from him.
Yeah, impressive, impressive. In its first half in the books here in our men's A section final. Pukekohe, they have one fingertip on the Diane Chand at the moment. They've got the slenderest of leads, 1-0, thanks to a first quarter goal to Divin Parsot. Wellington, the defending champs, well, they've got a bit of work to do if they are to go back-to-back and take the Diane Chand back down to Wellington. We'll get a little bit of a listen here of Pukekohe.
And yeah, just one thing, like resilience is really key here. If we thought that we weren't going to come to this game and Wellington weren't going to play any hockey at all, then we're kind of silly, right? So I actually thought we showed a good deal of resilience there, but we did go away from our game plan, all right? There's a couple of things we can tidy up. So we've actually got two free men. A lot of the time, Nohan's free and Needish is free. We actually need to get, when their centre striker is sitting in that deep position, we need to get Needish up onto that position and Nohan can sit here free. Yeah? Because the only out they have is around the outside, which we're winning, or the 45 ball, which they have won. Yeah? If we can get Needish in front of that line and once they're out, they can just be comfortable with them passing 60 balls in their back 50, right? That's not a threat. It's if we let them come through our layers and we lose them.
Love that there from Jimmy. And again, really good insight there from what they're thinking. He's talking about the floating striker or the link striker, a lot of times being played by Sarge for Wellington, and just that 45 ball that is troubling them a little bit. And two free men, well, while it sounds like a good thing, actually not a good thing when you're trying to number up there. So love that from James, and it's a little bit here from Will. Great timing from me, love that. And I'll talk over everything Will's got to say and we'll hear none of it. So some of my best work. We'll check out the highlights instead here. It was the first penalty corner. Again, just take note of Sarge's line. We'll see a few of them here. Really solid work, not allowing any flick down that attacking right side of the goal. This one is the goal. Little touch across.
Great tapping on the far post there.
Yeah, how good. Oh, Divin Parsot. That's the difference maker at the moment. From there, there's been opportunities both ways for both teams. Again, well run. And then we saw a couple little scrambles here. Devin Mbeka, yeah, didn't get that one right. And a lot of the opportunity has come from, we've talked about it already, that overhead ball paying off for both sides. That one, yeah, is actually the first runner that ran it down. And that, yeah. We'll have another here. We'll have a look at it from this angle.
Yeah, you called it.
There it is.
You called it.
It's outside the circle. It's not by much.
House is safe, Brad.
House is safe. We can go home again this evening. It wasn't much. Like I said, it was about half a ball by the time it could have got in there, but nailed it there, Ryan McLaughlin, and we see the stats fairly even. Yeah, penalty corners obviously go in the way of Puki, but the rest pretty balanced and typical of a final.
Yeah, exactly, and I think the second quarter probably did go a little bit more way of Wellington there on the attack, and that's evident in the circle entries number on that statistic there, and yeah, they'll probably be ruining a few chances. But there's another half to go, and I think the one thing I picked up whilst you were talking over Will was he mentioned creating, and I think that's exactly what they're doing in the second quarter. They are creating chances, so they've just got to keep plugging away. Very difficult to create against a solid defensive organisation of Pukekohe, but they are creating, and I think that's a positive sign for them. Yeah,
definitely. And there's multiple ways that we've seen them start to do that after the success of that 45 ball into the link striker. That's picking up around the dots or the head of the circle. They can then start throwing that overhead over the top, which we saw two of them really come off for Wellington. So again, just mixing up the looks that they're showing Puki, changing up their way of attacking, and like you say, being creative is I think is the key for Wellington to get back into this one.
Yeah, and then James Coughlin just talking about resilience. They find themselves 1-0 up, and it's very easy to kind of relax and take the foot off the pedal, but you need that second and potentially a third if you really want to take out the win. Yeah,
and again, he's nailed it. If Puki thought they were just going to come in and walk through this one, well, they may as well have stayed in Puki. It's not going to be that way, and now they're going to have to really lock in, because Wellington are the defending champs for a reason, and they got 30 minutes now to get a firm grip on the Dian Chan, whichever team wants to take it home from Waikato this weekend.
Yep, and already, a little bit off screen though, we saw Nidish push up, as James Coughlin talked about, to stop that 45 threat.
Yep. Yeah, so when we get those wide angles, just try and keep an eye on that. Just really plugging their free man in the right areas of the field and trying to avoid that two people not doing the same role. As Kellen Dial comes forward with it, drops it off here to Devin and Becca. Oh, excellent from Milan Patel. Not sure he expected to trap it, but ended up at his feet anyway, and away he comes here.
Yeah, equal to the task, and now showing his skills and what he can do.
Yeah. Maybe he was listening to Will about being creative. Man, he's maybe just trying to be a little too creative there on the sideline. Gives away the free hit. And Devin and Becca will get it going again. An unforced error that time. Liam Patel just took his eye off it.
Yeah, a bit of perceived pressure. I mean, when you know as a defender that you've got a high press against you, sometimes you're a bit more focused around where the play's coming from rather than just execute the skill.
Yeah. Love the work there from Dial. Just rides out in a little smile as well.
No look, tap, reverse.
Yeah, how good. And now Liam Patel will look over this time. He's got a fair distance on him as well, but it's cut out well there. And a little back and forward up this sideline at the moment between our two teams. That one's going to be too big for Divin Parsot. And shout out to all the crew that have stuck around for the men's final. Like I said, pretty well subscribed out here this afternoon, and epic to see those that are in and around that have come down to support, stuck around, and of course enjoying some of the best hockey going around. And yeah, just a reminder to make sure you're following, liking, subscribing, everything that is NZISA. the YouTube, of course, for all of the game highlights, the game replays and the live streams, and then on the Instagram and on the Facebook for there's been photos, there's been short videos, bits and pieces all coming out through the weekends and behind the scenes stuff. So make sure you get in, like, share, subscribe, all of the New Zealand Indian Sports Association content across the social media platforms, and a massive shout out to the team at Local Gecko Productions, not just the live stream, but like I said, photos, videos, short highlights and everything in between. And a lot of that thanks to the support of One Foundation. As I tell you what, young Renish there, he's might have got sick of us talking about Ishan yesterday, because he's really showing out today, Renish, and looking good for Puki.
Yeah, he would have been at under 18s, I think, yesterday.
Yep.
But on the first day, he's probably going, okay, I need one back. As
again, I've said it a couple of times, Wellington have 4 of the contenders for very nearly goal of the tournament, as we see this one off the back foot, just high and wide. I tell you what, if they score one of these, it's going to feel like it's worth 2, the way it could swing momentum here for Wellington.
yeah, exactly. And I think, again, just they found some good space in that circle.
Yep.
Just unfortunate not to execute, but you know, they're getting there. They're having the opportunities, as we see Shea now on the ball, higher up the field this time.
Yep, yeah, again, just trying to show different looks at this Puki defensive group. And we'll go over the sideline down there. Looks like Josh Thurosingham's going to go and get the ball, and it's going to be Wellington ball here. I think everybody thought it was Puki's. And Wellington now through Kalandao, around Liam Patel. Shea's back at the back where he belongs. And
again, massive high press from Pukekohe. They're getting that lone striker out, putting a lot of pressure on that back 4, and then the midfield stepping up equally on their midfield, which is really good execution. I think James Coggan will be pretty happy with that.
And again, the big overhead falls down to Rainish. Patel beats one. And penalty corner coming for Puki. We'll have a look at it on the replay. There was some silky skill work off the overhead receive here. Finally, someone gets one past Shea Lala. And the second challenge there, enough to win a penalty corner. So as they set up, we'll have a good look at this one here. Nidish Suka coming up for their 5th penalty corner. Puki, just the one for Wellington. Nidish again set up on the first bracket.
Oh,
yeah, like to get a good look at this replay, because there's one key thing that is missing here, and again we'll see it from that angle, and look at it here. So the running line of the first runner, Sarge off the field at the moment, and we just saw that slightly wider line from Hamish Suka who'd run first there. Just opened up too much channel for Nidish to flick down, and that's the difference maker. And that's all it takes for Nidish to be able to get one away there. You know, we talk about the importance of defensive corner running, and I know a lot of people probably watching going, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It's that big of a deal when you've got someone like Nidish on the attacking bracket.
yeah, agreed. And I think personnel-wise, he would have seen that, knowing here it is again on the replay.
Yeah, so you can just see there from that angle, just the line, more on the line of the trapper than the flicker. And yeah, Neitz would have looked up, and despite the limited vision he does have, probably would have lit up at seeing that runner just off the line there. So great execution from Neitz, good double up there from Puki, and the penalty corner via the overhead, proving again that skill set's so important. So Puki up 2 here, and now Wellington backs on the wall. Big one on the way for the defending champs to get back into this one.
Yeah, look, we've seen them create, and I think, you know, they'll be rolling a few chances, as we said before, but they need to be next on the scorecard if they're going to keep this game well and alive.
Yeah, absolutely. We always talk those cliches in sports, and a I think you've nailed it on the head. If they don't score next, this game could be all but over. As Puki perhaps now have 2 or 3 fingertips on the Diane Chand. And that one controlled there by Shea Lala. Got a little big on him for a second, but gets it under control, and now the free hit coming the way of Wellington. Kalendal just brings his left half forward onto the ball. And Nidish now with a bit of space.
Yeah, they're just, at the moment, not stringing those few passes together, which they'd been doing so well in that second quarter.
Yep.
And we'll spoke about it after the first quarter, you know, let's hold a bit of possession, and they've kind of gone away from that. They need to get back to that second quarter position, and I think they might be able to create a bit more.
Yeah, and I think the other thing too, you know, you've got to give some credit to Puki just swarming in their defence. They're so comfortable in their press style. And the goals certainly help the legs move a bit quicker. As we see, Ishan brought onto the ball. Great tackle there from Liam Patel. He's got a big reach for the young fella. And cuts out there, Ishan on the baseline. And Rainish this time, yeah, good block tackle. And cleaned up by none other than Shaylala. You can hear the call to protect the feet for the strikers out there, and not wanting to give away anything cheap. And now big transfer on for Puki. And it's not the most convincing showing of skill there. He's overrun it about 3 times, trying to go forward there, Rushul Patel. But
yeah, well cleaned up there again by Nidish, just sliding across there to pick up those drop-back strikers that are coming back, leading towards the ball for Wellington.
Yeah, and it looks like they've got that height sorted in their free man situation that James Coughlin was talking about. Just getting Nidish a little higher up there to help with that. And now a little bit of space on this left side. Can't get through Shea Lala, but Menezes has the overhead. And well read by Hamish Suka, got out clearly 5 yards ahead of the Puki receiver and took that one down pretty comfortably.
Oh, great pickup in the midfield there.
Excellent receive from Kalendal, and then rolls it straight under the back of the feet. To see some of the Wellington boys there ready to come onto the field. Now down the sideline comes Nathan Soma. Linking up there, Akshay. And still in here.
Still in play.
And it's going to come up, and everyone's going to put their hands up 3 times, and we're just going to go with the 16-yard hit. I don't know how Ishan kept it in along the baseline there. I'd love to get another look at what actually happened along the baseline. It looked like it rolled out for all money there after Akshay Uka there.
Yeah, he's done well to kick that in.
Yeah. And they'll march all the way back down for the free hit up in the attacking 25. DVD, Mills looking on for each team. Manav, of course, local here at Waikato Hockey. He's in control of the middle. And Nidish, well, he's in control of the game at the moment. Here come Puki through Jared Panchia. Just missed a little execution there on the pass across, and now Shea Lala looking long. Goes short, and now...
Yeah, very difficult Wellington at the back there. Just no real options there for Shea, you know, like he's almost needs to do the overhead, but that's not the right decision either. Like his teammates need to probably come back and consolidate and help him out a little bit more.
You can see it in his face, you know, he gets there quickly, looks up, doesn't like it, looks down, doesn't like it again, and not really offering a huge amount out for him, and sometimes just resigned to throw the overhead. And this time gets it going a bit quicker. There's a couple of numbers forward. Love this pass if they can rein it in. Excellent work there going forward. Sunil Patel, and they'll take the long corner there.
Yeah, again, good scramble defense from Pukekohe, just getting numbers back in that middle of the field to stop any real direct threat. But good shift of the ball here by Wellington.
Yeah, that's what Will was asking for at half-time. Or it may even been the quarter break there, just trying to find the other side of the field as much as possible. Make this Puke team work side to side. As free hit comes, and Dylan Dial with a little fake at the back. And
a few more fakes.
yeah, we'll go there anyway, just to get it back. And now Dial looking. This is one of the things we heard from Jimmy. We're happy to see them knock 60 passes around in their defensive end as long as we slide, though. That's not going to be too pleasing. We'll break through into the circle.
Yeah, good tackle by Mills there. Read that really well.
And have a look at that. On the spot for Divin pass. Pretty tough one to pull down coming in over your right shoulder, but
Would have been something special if he pulled that, and he almost nearly got it.
Yeah, he was in the areas for it. And just under a minute left to go here in this third quarter. I'm sure we feel the same as Wellington. That time just flying off the clock. And they'll really feel it at the moment, being 2 down. It's the same thing I mentioned in the women's final, where you know, a lot of people say, "Oh, you got plenty of time. There's heaps of time." Oh, unsure about that one there.
Exact same call in the first half.
I agree with you, Will.
You heard it there from Will. We didn't need to say anything up here in the commentary box.
No, and again, I think TVD was just parked under it, waiting for it, and
oh no.
That's going to
Yellow
double.
card.
Yeah, that's going to double the frustration there. Probably thought they could have got a penalty corner at the other end, and now they'll be without Sargent for 5 minutes here, which will be the first 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. Wellington just need to make sure they don't concede anything ugly here in these last 15 seconds. That'll be enough. That's enough there for the end of the third, and Wellington, they're really going to have to find some magic here in this fourth quarter. They'll be without Sargent for at least 4 minutes of the third quarter. You can see there, DVD, the captain from Wellington at the bottom of your screen, is just having a chat to Ryan McLaughlin about that call. Thought they were probably a little hard done by, and perhaps we'll get a little bit of audio from one of the huddles at this third quarter break. But Puke, they're inching their way towards another Diane Chan victory. We'll see some of the highlights here. That one, early miss here. Mills did some work around, not Mills there, it was Patel, and that's the flick. So hopefully we'll get a look at it from the other angle as well. There it is, just that gap through behind the first runner. And really good execution from, this is that, yeah, he's kept it in there, found some space, Ishan, and there you just ran out of space trying to get it across the middle of the field.
Yeah,
and
no, that's fine. Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah.
pretty cool custom massage, despite all of the worry from his teammates. Yeah, all good. He knows he'll sit his time. Boys will do the job, and then they'll probably have about 11 minutes full noise to perhaps try and have a crack at it. So, again, we mentioned it at the halftime break. Stats pretty even across the board. The only real separator, those penalty corners, and the big one, of course, at the top, 2-0 in favour of Puke.
Yeah, the penalty corners have been a bit of a killer, and like we talked about, you know, that second goal executed really well by Needish, identifying, you know, Sarge isn't on the field and go the other way straight down the line of the left foot of the goalkeeper, which is always tough to save.
Yep. We've seen a few of them already this week, and another one taken quickly here from Mills, and geez, the 5 metre may have shrunken a little bit there.
They're away Wellington on the right hand side here.
There's not many numbers for, I think the best outcome would be a PC here for Wellington, and instead just numbers in the picture. So many green shirts there. And again, they clean up. Puke Lovely transfer. And now a bit of space up this right side. But again, applaud Wellington. All the blue shirts in the picture. Ishan's going to have to do a bit of magic. Can't get through. Although, wins a free hit. And all smiles there for James Coughlin. And a little edge-to-edge overhead brought down by Mills and cut out well there by Liam Patel.
Pukekohe not done yet. They still retain possession.
Yeah, and again, remember, they know they've got a one-man advantage at least for probably another 2 minutes here of this fourth quarter. And if they can keep the pressure on, I think they're pretty aware if they can score one more here, it's probably enough to warm the trophy cabinet up again. There's 2 goals at the moment.
Great ball. Still trying to find a way forward. They are a man down, so it can make it difficult to really breach.
Yeah, it's just one less, either, you know, one less target in the midfield, or if you do get it in there, one less up the front that you've got to be able to find that real breach. So tough going for Wellington, especially when that player is Sarge, who's so much of their attack.
Yeah, definitely. So they'll just keep searching, I think. Just keep retaining that position. Hopefully string a few passes together, get numbers up.
And again, Pookie pretty happy just to sit in this slide, close the middle, and then try and make them work out of the sidelines here. So we see a little go forward. DVD, it's going to be back to Becker. Yeah, and they'll take that one there. Also, one thing, and we've mentioned a few times, just getting something on target, a little bit of a bobble on it. DVD's had a couple of opportunities where he's maybe gone in a little overzealous, and that time takes the better option of it. We'll see it on the replay here. It's a nice turn as well onto his forehand.
Rolls, puts it in there.
And Barbie just leaning back a little bit there, come up off the boot. And I think everybody around the ground agrees with that call. They're pretty obvious one, I think, in the end.
All right, what options they have? Alex is back up. They opted for a single bracket this time.
Yeah, just grip it and rip it by the looks.
Save.
Good save by Barbie up on the left leg guard there, around the knee area, and he's got a good bit of it. So out towards the back line, and good answer from Barvish after giving away, or some might say, a soft penalty corner. Oh, Ish. Oh, yeah.
Still gone. And he's kept it in.
And now, yeah, that's better. Rather than try and take Ish back on one-on-one, just consolidate the turnover. You see too often the double and triple turnovers become coach killers, and Wellington now. Sarge back on the field, so they've worn through the card. No further damage to the scoreboard. We're 11 on 11. Sarge is back, and now do they have a way to break through this Pookie defence? It's been so good all weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Not going to be easy, so they are going to have to keep searching and find a way through. But it does help when they're back to full quota, that's for sure.
Same as Shuka there, around the back. And cut out there by Nathan Somar. Suka will look at his options. He'll attempt the overhead. Nobody there. And subs coming on there by the way of Divin and Brett for Pookie. And Wellington get going straight away through Sarge. Links up with Shea Lala, who's upper layer now, trying to create a bit for them. A tough take there. What's that left side of the field?
Right idea to get that transfer ball going. Just unable to pick that ball up on the sideline there, but
now they bring the overhead onto it, and downtown, well downtown, into the circle, and under a bit of pressure now. And Going to go right to the own corner to get it out, and it's one there by Puke. But that's the advantage of the overhead, just being able to pin Wellington back into their own end and then win it back.
Yeah, like this from Pukekohe. Just reconsolidate a little bit, get it back and around over to that transfer side.
Yep. Good receive from Divin Parsot, and he's got the circle entry sitting on his reverse. It's in front of goal. Oh, that's phenomenal goalkeeping work there. Akshay Uka, the number 3 for Puke, had a nice little turn and shot at it, but cleaned up. Yeah, Jasdeep Singh. Oh, and Hensman there, working with Nathan Somar down the sideline. Same play, this time cut out. And, you know, Hitu, you've done a fair bit of coaching at some pretty high levels. At what point do you start to perhaps look at pushing the envelope for Wellington, you know, via either the goalkeeper or, you know, shortening up your defence? Where does the look come, and when do you start doing it?
Yeah, I think just consolidate, get some ball possession back in, and then earlier the better, I think. Now's potentially a good time with your 2 down. You know, it'd be probably a different story if you're 1 down, but you're chasing 2. And sometimes you just need one momentum shift.
Yep, that's it. I've seen teams do it where, you know, they pull it off, score one, and actually put the goalie back on. And it's just enough to get the guys going again. And but what we've also seen a lot of is what I think is just coaches leaving it way too late. Like you see the big whistle come at like 2.5 minutes to go, and well, by the time you flounder around getting the ball for a 16-yard hit 3 times, most of your times are actually gone. So yeah, interesting to see. The other thing, though, I know Will, as a goalkeeper, might back his goalie to stay there and just shorten up the defence. When a goalie's having a good game, they can, you know, really look after a fair chunk of that circle anyway. But we'll see as those develop, as Divin Parsot wins one there in the middle of the field.
Yeah, or you can just, you know, change your structure a little bit, potentially put some more attacking players up, try something different.
Yep.
There needs to be a switch for Wellington right now.
Yeah, something has to happen. They can't just keep doing the same thing and expect to find a way through Puke's defence, which they haven't managed for 45 minutes. As Sarge will, he'll try his best there. And as you say, it might be as simple as moving to a 3-3-4 or 3-3-1 or something, just to change the look that they're giving Puke at the moment. Because Puke looks settled and they look pretty comfortable around the back. Yeah, interesting there. Our stats saying that Wellington ahead on the circle entries. They've certainly had the opportunities for it. I think we can probably count 3 or 4 genuine could have been goals on any other day. So not by shortage of opportunity. As tell you what, one of them opened the page and the other decided not to look at it, and now
interesting.
we're going to have a quick conversation about this, and it's one I had, I'm not sure with who, at Heritage Tournament. Probably not the time I'd take my goalkeeper off, considering you've just given away a sideline hit inside your 25-yard area.
Yeah, I agree with that one, Brad. Probably other times they could have. Looks like Sarge has gone over to the sideline to say, when are we doing it?
Yeah. And again, I get the theory, but I think it was actually an NZI ladies game. We asked the question where they'd just been given a 16-yard hit out of their own end and took the goalie off, and all of a sudden yeah, the heart's in the throat. If you get it wrong, as we see our man there come from the field, Jasdeep Singh, he's had a good day. Though no goalkeeper will say they've had a good day after conceding a couple in the final, but he's made some good saves, and Wellington forced to earn it the hard way. I think they probably could have given it off the body a little earlier, but way come Wellington nonetheless. And now, can they find that way through? They've got an extra player. And I'll tell you what, Hitu, that was a red card in the earlier women's game.
Yeah. No comment.
No, good little battle. Good men's challenge, and now Puke come away, Ish with a bit of ball. He's got Sarge on his back. Love that jail dribble. That's really good work. Wow.
It's getting quite feisty out there now. I mean, that's what we're here for, right?
Yep.
Means so much to both teams. No one's given an inch.
No, absolutely. And again, if you didn't expect this, you've probably don't know what you're up to.
Ball.
It's an excellent ball here, and they're going to let it play, which I love. Cross it goes. Oh, millimetres.
So very close again.
Will Zhu there, you can't believe it. Head in his hands.
He can't buy a goal today, I think, Brad. Like that, the stats speak for themselves. They have been having a lot of circle entries, Wellington. Just nothing finding.
No, you're right, and I think they forgot it was the King's birthday holiday because you can't actually buy anything today.
Without a surcharge.
Yeah, Wellington just every opportunity, every chance, everything has just gone wayward for them in the attacking zone. And Mills will try and perhaps burn a little bit of clock here in the corner.
Yeah, and these are smarts when the experienced players come on board and close out games like this. And Mills has probably been here a few times before. I've had him in my under-18 side, so he knows the deal.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty cool, Cussman. Look at that stick skill there. Gives away one, though. Shea Lala, the experienced dog, getting the better that time. And
oh, here we go. This could be...
This is the one. Who's first to it? Nedish cleans up. Only as far as Sarge, though, and...
Oh, that's a bit harsh.
Yeah. Not a huge fan of that in the context of the game. You know, had the advantage, got the free hit, let them play. I think it's enough of an attempt to stop it to let them keep rolling, and now Puki able to win it, at least as far as the sideline. And you can hear the coaches real vocal. James Coughlin there for Puki. Get some players back. Oh, Hiranmani can't bring that one under control. Had a bit of a skip on it, not the easiest, but I've seen him do it before.
That almost sums up their day up front, Wellington.
Yeah, it's been a tough one for them, and this could really make things tough. Remember, open goal. And they'll take the free hit just outside the circle. Puki probably not mad about that, actually.
I think sometimes those are part of the, tactics of winding down the clock.
Yeah. In the circle.
So we're less than 2 minutes away now.
Yeah, inside two. There they go. Lateral on the overhead to Sarge. Oh, beats 1 and 2 at the same time. That's special. Sarge taking on Jared Panchia and Hitesh Suka. This is epic.
Oh.
And again, just it's unfortunate for Wellington, but like you said, it's just summed up their afternoon. Little bits like that, they do all the work and just finds the one spot in the circle where there wasn't a Wellington attacker. And out come Puki.
Rainish Patel there, great little wee skill.
Yeah, he's been epic.
Get to the help side.
Considering he probably had 2 rep games he had to play yesterday. Travelling the car back from Whangarei this morning and out there for Puki. He's been great, Rainish. And Brett, again, happy to kill clock here. Inside a minute. Probably keep it there for about that long. DVD works out. And they'll take the sideline, but...
Puki boys looking happy on this side there.
The fizzy drink can is popped. Ready to go here, Puki. It's not a long trip home for them. And with about 30 seconds left here, I think they know they've probably done enough now. And Nedish again doing the business. Josh will try and take it quickly. And all it's going to do is hurt them because the clock will count its way down.
No doubt this ball will be in the air for 20 seconds or so.
Yeah, Nedish will get some snow on this one. There it goes. In the final 10 seconds here, Puki. A little bit acrobatic in the middle. That will spell the end of this one. Huda, there it goes. And there they are, the 2025 Diane Chan winners, the champions of the New Zealand Indian Hockey Championship for this year. It's Pukekohe They get it done 2-0 over the defending champs Wellington, who unable to find anything on the scoreboard despite the number of opportunities going their way. And Hitu, we saw it yesterday. Puke looked up for it. They looked sharp. They were playing good on both sides of the ball, and they get it done in the final. Yeah,
clinical performance again. 2 games in a row. Credit to Pukekohe to close out the game and take out the Dian Chan.
Yep, how good. The Dian Chan going back to Pukekohe, and they've alternated holding of it for the last couple of years. As I mentioned, Puke down in Wellington, Wellington up at Harbour, and now Pukekohe get it done in Waikato. What a way to finish the weekend, what a way to finish the tournament. It's been a fantastic one here, hosted by Waikato Indian Sports Club and the New Zealand Indian Sports Association. For all of you that have been watching along on the live stream, all of the games we've had through the day, 16 games we've had over the weekend here on the live stream turf. I hope you've enjoyed the coverage. Brought to you by the team at Local Gecko Productions, and thanks to One Foundation. We're going to get through the little bit of highlights and set up for prize giving, which will be live streamed. So those that are wanting to, look out for the awards and bits and pieces, make sure you join us back here for the final prize giving, and we'll see you then.